This one has a bass knob on it. And of course, the LC2i. LOCs I picked up off the internet real quick, just to kind of see what's coming out of these ones, because maybe they're not all bad. I mean, I'm pretty sure the audio control is going to do alright, but I don't know about these other ones. Now, I got no real plans to sit here and dog any of these products out if they don't do good. I'm just going to show you what's on the screen. I'll show you both input and output on the O-scope, and I'll show you what the DD-1 is saying. So I'll let you make up your own mind when you see what's on the screen. They're not all going to be bad, I don't think. They're not all going to be good, I don't think. But I'll let you decide whenever you see. I'll show it all right now. First up is the Boss. As you can see right here, we'll look at the screen. This time pink is our input coming off the head unit. It's clean up to about 45, 46. We're going to put it right at 45 just to keep it perfectly clean. You see that right there? It looks nice. Yellow is output. But we're not doing output yet. We're going to look for distortion. So, I'm going to hit pause on that. Turn the DD-1 on. Alright, so we got super nice clean input. And we got nothing coming out of it right now. Nothing. This is going into the DD-1. So I'm going to turn this gain up a little bit. And turn it real slow. Okay, we got distortion before we see any voltage. So let's see how high I can take this. That sound wasn't this, that was something else over in the shop. Okay, so this thing does, it's got a respectable 5.6 volts out, but it's all distortion. So let's take a look at this on the scope. I'm going to make it a respectable 4 volts. Let's just say you wanted 4 volts out of this. Okay, let's take a look at that on the O-scope, on the outputs. Take that out. I'm going to probe it. So if you have a cheap O-scope, even a good one, you might think this looks good. Look at this. So look at that. Yeah. So look how far off that is. So you can see those are, they're not only shifted over, but they're shaped different. So they look similar, but they're not. It looks like a clean wave though, I'll give it that. But in actuality, it's not correct. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so here's a super generic one that I got on Amazon. It's a no-namer, but it does say best sound right there on it. 2-channel summing, line output converter. It's got a little gain on the top. 0 to 2 volts. Well, let's take a look at it. So it looks like it's powered. So we got a plus and minus. I got my high level inputs coming in off the stereo. Got positive, negative right here. And we don't need to use the remote because that is remote out. And let's make sure that the gain is turned all the way down. Turn this gain all the way down, which it is. We're still clean up there. And let's take a look at this. Nothing. 0. Nothing is coming out of this with the gain all the way down. So 0 volts, they tell you right there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to turn this gain up just a little bit. Okay, we're in full distortion before it's even 0.1 volts. So let's see what it has all the way up. Okay, so that's a nice solid 6.2, but the trade-off is distortion. So let's turn that thing down to a nice respectable 5 volts. Look at this. I guess it's just a little distorted. Here, let's see if that lines up. Nope, not quite lining up. Okay, so we're just gonna very calmly disconnect this one and put it off to the side. Next we got this little kicker little thing. Just a little guy. We'll see if it's any good. Alright, so this one is supposed to go to ground, to chassis ground, which I have right here. Okay, so it's got a red light on it. There's no positive or anything hooked up. It's got a red light. I wonder if that remote is kicking out. Would that be really nice? Let's see. Look at this. This doesn't even have a positive hooked up to it. So it must be getting voltage through those speaker leads and then turning it in to something that you can send out to your remote wire, which is awesome. That is perfect. That's signal sense on another level. Yeah. I already like it. But let's see if it's clean. That's a whole nother ball game. That's a great feature to have. I just praying that this thing plays clean because it ain't gonna be good. But I love that feature. Volume's all the way down. We got nothing, which is normal because the volume's all the way down. We'll start turning that up till we see something on the screen. Which, there we do. Oh, we're clean. We're clean at 1.8. We're clean at 2. We're clean at 3. Oh, I'm at volume 40. We're clean at 4. We're clean at 5. Oh, we're dirty at 8. Big deal. Let me see. Oh, 7.4. About 7.5 volts. Now that thing is nice. 7.5 volts out clean. That's pretty amazing. Let's look at it on the scope. Let me turn that back down. Okay, so I'm going to start turning this up and watch as I turn it up what happens on the screen. We're going to bring it back up to our number on the head unit. Right there. And let's line them up and see what happens. Remember, pink is input, yellow's output. Look at that. Look at them disappear behind each other like that. Now that right there is a nice LOC. 2 thumbs up for that right there. And it's got the remote out without anything else hooked up except for a ground. Perfect. Let's move on to something else. Although I don't feel like I need to anymore. Next one up is this PAC SN115, SNI15. Now this one's going to be a little bit tricky because if you read the manual it says 15 watts. This is used for radios with 10 to 20 watts RMS. Well, this deck is supposed to be 45, but I don't think it does the whole 45, but it certainly does more than that. So we're just going to look for cleanliness and see. I might have to turn the deck down a little bit. So let's do that. Okay, we're detecting something. No distortion yet. We'll turn that up to about, well, 45 is our number. So, you know, we're looking pretty good. No distortion yet. Oh, we got distortion right at 2 volts. And that is, that's at 40 out of 45. So, because of the input not being able to handle as much power, you can't turn this deck up as high as you want. So those are things that you got to pay attention to whenever you're hooking these up. So we're looking clean at 2 volts, and it's looking good up on the screen. Let's look at it on the O-scope. Well, we're clean at 40 out of 50. It's kind of weird, but at least it's doable. At least it ain't the worst I've seen. Now look at this. We have to leave it at 40. Take a look at this. Let's bring those up together. Down. Yeah. Okay. So the PAC SM115 appears to be clean up to 2 volts, and yeah, nothing wrong with that. Like it. Of course, anything past 2 volts, you can see that right there. This is at 45, so it looks clean, but it's not. I can feel it getting hot. Yeah, this thing's getting a little warm, so I don't want to put too much power through it. Yeah, this thing doesn't have any kind of gain on it at all. I had actually used the volume knob as my gain, which kind of sucks, but at least we know if you had this and you had a DD-1, you would know where the distortion point was, and you can see that we're clean up to 2 volts. It's not a lot of voltage at all, but at least it's clean. You can turn the gain up on the amp to make up for it. Except we got this bad boy right here. This one actually has a bass knob on it. The skosh. So it's got power in and a remote out. We don't need that, but we're going to power it up. A little bass knob here. Plug that in. And of course we got the handy gain screwdriver that it came with. I snapped it off the side. We'll make sure the gains are all the way down, which it feels like they are. I think so. Yeah, it was. Okay. Alright, so it's all hooked up. Bass knob is turned all the way down. Alright, so we're going to start this track over. We're still looking good here. Gain's all the way down. We got no voltage. Bass knob is all the way down. With the gain all the way down, I'm going to turn this up. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got nothing. And that's a good thing, because that's how bass knobs are supposed to be. Turn that up all the way. Now let's turn this gain up. Okay, so we got distortion before we have voltage. Again. But is the bass knob causing it? Let's see. Okay, so the bass knob is all the way down. Gain is all the way up. So now the gain is all the way up and the bass knob is down. So we'll turn this up a little bit. Yeah, same thing. Same exact thing. So gain all the way down. I'm just going to turn the bass knob a little bit. And I'm going to turn this up. See if we get any voltage. Which we don't. Not clean anyway. So we got 2 volts. 2 volts out. Now I'm going to turn this all the way up, this bass knob. And we got 2.6, and it's probably really ugly. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Let's put that on a scope. Alright, so you can see that's not exactly round. We'll turn this bass knob. Yeah, the bass knob's all the way down. Let's turn this gain down now. Okay, so we could turn the gain down and make it look a little nicer. But it doesn't matter because it's ugly. So 2 volts, and that's what you're getting. We can try to line this up, see what happens. Yeah, so it's something like that. So I'm afraid to say this one is coming off the table, and you make up your own mind whether or not you want this. That's all. I just want to show you what's happening. Looks like we only got one more to do for today. That's the LC2i from Audio Control. And, well, obviously it's a much better quality. It feels like it anyways. But let's see. This one also has a bass control knob. hopefully we can hook it up the proper way, the way bass knobs are supposed to be. Let's hook it up here. Let me make some wires real quick to go in here. This in here. And a little something for the speakers. Okay. Alright, look at that. We already got juice. We're lit up. Now we're going to put this on the bass output. The same exact thing works up here. This is just a bass output. So I think I'm on the left side. Okay, we're gonna unpause this. We got no gain. Output's turned all the way down. Let's go ahead and turn this up and see what happens. Actually, let's make sure this bass knob. God damn it. Like this. Okay, so what we have here is gains all the way down. Bass knob is all the way up. It's seeing something, but it's not distorted. So we're going to turn this up a little bit. Look at this. Oh, no distortion yet. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Zero distortion. Gains about halfway up. We're looking at 5 volts. 6, 7. Oh, right around 8 volts. So back that down just a little hair. There you go, something like that. It's so close, it's hard to stop right there on it, but let's just say, I mean, it's right around 8 volts. So if I want to sit here all day long and try to get it exactly 8 or 7.9, I probably can. But keep in mind, this bass knob is still all the way up too. So, yeah. So what we want to do maybe is put this at something any respectable amp will take. We'll put it at about 5 volts. 5 volts is a good number. You only need an extreme amount of voltage if you have a lot of amplifiers to drive, split up every direction. So we're at 5 volts, totally normal. Gain is set right here, and bass knob is all the way up. So as you can imagine what the bass knob does for your bass. You have none, you're sitting there, you hear a song you like, turn it up. Distortion free, just like that. Okay, so that's perfectly distortion free. The LC2i shines as usual, and it's also got AccuBass. That's something that if you're tapping into the wrong speaker in your car, something that the factory is rolling off, which a lot of factory systems will do, this will make up for it. So if you're losing bass at 40 hertz, this thing can actually make up for what you lost. So the features are all there. Alright, so I'm going to turn that all the way down to 0. I'm leaving the gain exactly where it's at. And let's go to the scope. So we know when I turn that bass knob up, I'm doing 5 volts, which is really nice. Look at that on the scope, how nice that is. Perfect. Let's see if it'll hide. Look at it hide right behind there. The input hides right behind the output perfectly. So that means what goes in is exactly what's supposed to come out. So no surprise here, the audio control is a Mac Daddy, period. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. Make up your own mind based on what I showed you here on the otoscope and the DD-1 Plus. So like I was trying to point out in the video, not all distortion is clipping. You have two waves that don't match up. The pink is the incoming, the yellow is what's coming out of the LOC. If you have a single channel otoscope, even a good one, you might not even think that that's bad. You might think, hey, it looks good, we're good to go. But in reality, it's not even the same shape as the other one. It's not the same size, it's not the same shape, and it's shifted over, so that can't be good. So definitely having a 2-channel otoscope is where it's at if you want to compare both the signals at the same time. With a single channel otoscope, low resolution, high resolution, it don't matter. You're only going to have one and nothing to compare it to. But in order to clarify this just a little bit, I want to give my buddy Tony D a call. My amazing engineer. He knows everything about everything. Let's find out why that wave seems to look decent when it's really not. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, I got a couple questions. I'm making this video right now showing these LOCs. It's probably going to be my last video because I already beaten a dead horse. So
okay.
I just wanted a little bit more in-depth explanation. You can make it real quick if you want, but some of these LOCs, they're distorting before you can even turn the gain up. And I know why, because there's distortion in there. But when you pull it up on the O-scope, you kind of see like a nice clean wave. And if you didn't have two channels, you wouldn't know any better, because it kind of looks good. I mean, it's not shaped the same. I can see it when they're both compared to each other. But with a single channel, I would never know. So basically, the wave looks good. And if you could just explain real quick and help me out here. I got you on camera, by the way. I hope you don't mind. But can you maybe explain to me a little bit why? Let me show this to you real quick. That way you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. But here, we got this right here. Okay, so see how that wave looks nice? Like the pink one is my input and the yellow is my output. Can you give me a basic explanation on why you think we're showing distortion when the wave looks halfway decent?
Yeah, I think when we're looking at the wave on the scope, you know, when we say it looks decent or clean, we're meaning like it's not clipped or it's not a triangle. You know, it resembles a sine wave, but there's more frequencies in there than the actual frequency that you're looking for. So what is that 40 hertz or 1K?
Yeah, I'm doing 40 hertz because most people are going to use this for bass.
So there's probably like some harmonics mixed in. So there's probably some 80, some 120, some 160, maybe some 200 mixed in there. And it's hard to see because it's not clipped or jagged or a sawtooth or anything crazy like that. But there's other frequencies other than 40 hertz. That's what the DD-1 triggers on. And we can't really see that with our eyes on a scope, but you know, that's how I have like an audio precision, things like that, so I can actually see all that stuff on there. That's what it's useful for. Okay, so we know the audio precision is the real deal, Holyfield. When this video is done, can I throw all these in a box? I think I have like 8 of them total. Can I throw them in a box and send them to you and have you put them on the audio precision and maybe go into a little bit more deeper and show us on the screen what you're talking about? Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to mail them off to you. I'm going to put your link down in the description. That way they can look out for your... Well, hold on a second. I don't want to put you on the spot, but will you make a quick little video about it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. We'll put a link down in the description to your YouTube channel, and maybe you could pull up on the screen what is actually in that wave whenever it's on there, and it'll be a lot better explanation than I could do. So... Yeah,
great. It'll support the DD-1 too, so people can see what it's doing.
All right, well, the DD-1, man, they say, what's it got, some kind of magic that the scope can't see? And I mean, I'm feeling like it does, because with a single, forget about low resolution, even with a high resolution, if you've got a single channel with nothing to compare it to, you're going to still think that you have a clean wave.
Yeah, it's hard to see. I mean, it looks like a sine wave, but I mean, it's like those guys that look at signatures for a living. You know, those signature experts that be like, no, that's not Michael Jordan's signature. Oh. He is a little different right here. It's the same thing. Once you look at those sine waves enough years daily, you can start seeing it. Like, yeah, the shape of that's a little bit off. Okay. Well. And you know, the DD-1 sees it easy. Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, that's a quick and easy explanation. But I'm gonna let you go a little deeper once you get them. Slapping it on a box and they're on their way. And I'm right in the middle of editing and I'm filming you right now, so I'm going to hit this button, finish my video, and we'll be looking forward to that. All right, man. All right, thanks for your time, man. You bet. Later. Can't have that one. I'm keeping this one. Yeah. Oh, and I'm definitely keeping this one too. But you know how it is. With bad LOCs, they're either ugly or they don't line up or both. So I'm gonna send these off to Tony D. He's gonna put them on his $10,000 Audio Precision AP, and he'll do a little bit more explaining what's going on here. So make sure you check out his channel real soon. Whenever he makes the video, I'll put his link right down in the description. And until then, I'll catch up with you later. I'm out of here.